It's Halloween, so let's talk about vampires and bones. But what can those two things possibly have in common? Our goal here at the Bone Museum is to talk about the history of the medical bone trade, and part of that history is the Resurrectionists. The Resurrectionists were groups of people up until the 1800s whose entire job was to go to cemeteries and procure freshly buried bodies for anatomy students. But what does that have to do with vampires? The Resurrectionists directly contributed to the vampire panic of the 18th and 19th centuries. The tuberculosis epidemic was ripping through New England, and tuberculosis was believed to be the vampire disease, as they thought that vampires were going around sucking the life force out of everyone. And at the same time, the Resurrectionists were going to cemeteries and stealing bodies. So someone goes to the cemetery, sees that their loved one is missing in the middle of the vampire epidemic, and what do they think? Oh my god, they turned into a vampire and crawled their way out. So yes, it was a widespread belief that if your loved one had gone missing from their grave, it wasn't because someone stole them, it's because they turned into a vampire and were now rampaging the town. In a lot of older cemeteries to this day, you can still see large boulders or cages called ward safes placed above the grave. These were used as preventative measures to prevent vampires from crawling out, but also in tandem stop the Resurrectionists from taking bodies. So I guess it kind of worked. It is always interesting to see how portions of history can overlap like this, and this is a very famous one we like to talk about here at the Bone Museum. And I would also like to point out that here at the Bone Museum we do not work with skeletons from this time period, as it predated the globalized bone trade, which are the skeletons that we work with here. And if you found this video interesting and you would like to learn more fun stories, make sure to follow the Bone Museum for more. And we hope that you have a happy Halloween and that you spent it here at the Bone Museum with us.